Hey guys, and welcome back to GCC. It's Damon, and today I just wanted to do a quick little one-on-one about what I've been up to lately with gaming and kind of life, I guess. So, as you guys know, I just got back recently from a vacation, went to the East Coast, but now I'm back and I'm ready to make some more videos. I've been trying to stay away from some Let's Plays because I want to do more about collecting, you know, since that's in like the name of my channel, Games, Coffee, and Collecting. We all know I love coffee. Got my coffee here in on a hot plate, on like a coffee mug warmer. Keeps it nice and warm. The goal is to never let it sit for that long to get cold, but sometimes I get a little bit too much in the zone. But lately, I have honestly felt like I've been kind of in a gaming slump. Ever since I beat God of War on the PS4, it's been tough, honestly. Like, I can't find another game that just really sucks me in as much as God of War did. The games like Horizon, God of War, things like that, you know, are really the kind of games that I enjoy, which is why when I play on consoles, I prefer to play either on the PS4 or the Switch. I have a PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, and a Switch. I've been fortunate enough to be able to afford all of those. Probably shouldn't have, let's be honest here. Not always the right choice, but I have them, you know, and that's been fantastic. But lately, I've been finding myself playing a lot of World of Warcraft, actually. Battle for Azeroth came out. It's the newest expansion to World of Warcraft, and in about a week or so, I leveled up to 120 from level 110. My main character is a paladin, and it was fun. I really enjoyed the story. It felt the most like a role-playing game. You know, they actually really focused on the RPG section of the MMORPG, and that was really cool. There's a lot of cinematics, a lot of lore that they kind of told you not in big quest text boxes, which is really nice. I really try to focus on actually reading like the quests as I was doing them. You know, I tried to actually focus on reading it instead of just like slamming accept every time and just busting through all the quests. I wanted to try and go through a little bit more slowly, and I found as I hit around level 115, 116, I just kind of got tired of it. You know, I noticed that I suppose it's kind of the nature of games like WoW, where they have to make the content to last, even if it's just like the main part of a new expansion. They have to try and make it last. So what I noticed was that a lot of quest lines just kept going on tangents and like dove deeper down little rabbit holes until I was like, what does this have to do with the battle for Azeroth? Like, what does this have to do with it? And I got a little bit annoyed, and that's when I kind of just started to, you know, click, go kill monsters, come back, turn in the quest, whatever, move on. So I hit 120, got burnt out doing world quests in about 4 days, and here I am. So I was playing earlier today. I did some new content in the old zones, and that was really fun. Got some decent gear, that was pretty cool. And I've already kind of feel like I've hit a wall when it comes to content in Battle for Azeroth. So, what else have I been doing? Well, my go-to fallback besides WoW is always Overwatch. My wife and I play. She has her own rig right there, right next to me. That's her rig with her diva and her diva headset and the diva poster on the wall and just a whole bunch of diva stuff, you know. That's one of her favorite characters is Diva, and we like to play Overwatch together. But lately I've been getting frustrated when I play Overwatch. It's like the stereotypical example of someone who's getting burned out, because when I die, I get upset and I blame it on other people, like, where's the heals, come on tank, what are you doing? Usually I play Reinhardt, you know. And I've not been pleased with where he's at in Overwatch for a long time. His Earth Shatter, his ultimate, doesn't feel very good. It misses a lot when it shouldn't. It does nothing when it should. It's just frustrating. Small things completely make it a useless move. So I get upset when I play Overwatch, which makes it not fun for me and the wife. So I try to limit it to, you know, a few games a day. And when I start to feel myself getting salty, getting frustrated, I just back off, go play a different game, you know, whatever. So, since my two go-tos, WoW and Overwatch, I've been kind of burnt out on. What have I been doing besides that? And the answer is, well, multiple answers. One of them is I've been playing with my PSP, of all things. So I got my PSP when the Kingdom Hearts game came out for it. And so it was pretty late, I believe, in the life cycle of the PSP. And I never really used it for anything besides playing Kingdom Hearts. I had just beat Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, way late, mind you. I'm gonna go on a tangent here. I didn't have a PlayStation 2 when I was a kid, and when I met my wife, I was in high school actually. She had an old PS2 like in a box somewhere, and I was like, hey, I know we are like dating and stuff, and you know that's awesome, but can I borrow your PlayStation 2? I never had a chance to play with one. So she let me borrow it, and that was a good time. I bought, you know, not all of them, but many of the iconic PlayStation 2 games, Kingdom Hearts 2 and stuff, and I just blasted through those on like a winter break or something, and it was awesome. So in the wake of beating those games way long ago, I bought a PSP and the Kingdom Hearts games for it, and after that kind of just set it down and forgot about it. Until a few days ago actually, when I picked it back up and decided, you know what, the PSP is a pretty cool device. I love my Vita. My Vita is one of my favorite consoles of all time. But what I hate about it is the proprietary memory cards. I only have an 8 gig card in it because I don't want to spend $100 for a 64 gig card for my Vita. So what I just did was I bought a 64 gig micro SD card and an SD card to memory stick duo adapter for my PS Vita, or sorry, for my PlayStation Portable. And then what I did was I installed a custom firmware on it, which is, it sounds like crazy, like installing custom firmwares, I'm hacking the PSP. Many of you probably don't think that actually, because it's, you know, it's simple. Shut up, Loco Roco. But what I did was I installed the custom firmware and made it so that I could play Game Boy Advance games and some SNES games and Genesis and NES and Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games, as well as PlayStation 1 games. So this all kind of comes full circle. It seems very tangential, I'm sure, because it is. But I have a lot of PS1 games. My wife had a few that she had with her PS2, and obviously the PS2 is backwards compatible, so that's why she had them. So she had a few games like Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider 3 and stuff, and I think a Final Fantasy game. But I bought a few as well because I wanted to play PS1 games. I'd never had a PlayStation 1, so it was really cool being able to experience multiple generations on a console that my wife had sitting in a box. So I have a bunch of PS1 games sitting on my bookshelf over there with all my other games, and I found out that you can just stick a PS1 game in your computer in the optical drive and just copy the game to your computer. Then I just converted it to an eBoot file that a PSP can understand and read, and I was able to kind of preserve my own games. I'm not a huge fan of downloading ROMs or ISOs if you don't have the game, because it is piracy, and while the company isn't getting the money in secondhand sales anyways if you bought the game at a used shop, still just morally I find it wrong to download a whole bunch of games that you don't own, you know. So what I did was I've started to archive some of my games that I have over there, like Chrono Cross. Boop. You can see I kind of got Chrono Cross on there with a custom background. I got what else do I have? Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That was really cool. And you can see you got my Game Boy Advance and SNES and Genesis, NES, and then It's called GIMP, but this is Game Boy and Game Boy Color. So I hacked this guy and have been, oops, I don't know what I did. I started a game. And I have been trying to archive my game library as much as possible. You also can put in a regular PSP game into your PSP, connect it to your computer, and then if you have a custom firmware, I'll kind of show this quickly. I gotta go back to the menu, but if you have a custom firmware, you can hit select, boop, and then you get this little menu that pops up. So you can go down to USB device, and you can go over to UMD drive. Boop. Kind of cool. And from there, you can just copy the game on your computer to save like a local backup in case you lose your PSP or the games get stolen or whatever. Realistically, I just wanted to kind of preserve my collection, so I don't plan on sharing any of it with anyone. I've been feeling nostalgic, and I've been playing a lot of my Restaurant 5 over there, kind of over there. It's sitting on top of my Xbox One. So that's also part of what I've been up to, is messing around with the PSP quite a bit. Like I said before, the PS Vita is one of my favorite consoles of all time. Collecting for it, though, I found to be rather pricey. So I don't collect for it all that much. If there's a game that I feel like I have to have, I'll try and find a good deal for it, but otherwise I don't go out and actively look for PS Vita games because the Vita was never a huge hit in the US. I found that a lot of places either don't stock games or they're pricey, so I don't. But I have been collecting a lot of PlayStation 3 games, PS2 games, 360 games, and then PS4 games lately. So PS3, I also missed out on. So I'm gonna go over what consoles I had as a kid. My first ever console that I ever had was the N64, and it was awesome. It was like the coolest thing in the whole world. It was awesome. After that, I got a GameCube and an Xbox. My brothers and I saved up. We did, this typical kid stuff. We did people's yards and, saved up birthday money and stuff and bought a GameCube, and that was awesome. And then I don't even know really why my parents bought us an Xbox. So I think it was something like if all of us did 2 sports per school year, then they'd buy us an Xbox. And we did, we already did play sports, so it's kind of just like a free Xbox, I guess. And that was cool. The Xbox was the original Xbox was one of my favorite consoles of all time. I love these memories that I have of having LAN parties with friends and playing Halo 2 and stuff, or both Halos, actually, Halo 1 and 2 were just amazing, and my friends and I would get together, and it was just a blast. So I've got very fond memories of the original Xbox. And then I got a 360. I got one as a freebie when I was in the military. I bought a laptop, and they threw in an Xbox 360 for free. It was like the arcade edition, but because it didn't have a hard drive, but it was a later slim model. And then I bought a PS4 on launch day, and I bought an Xbox One for my wife, and then I bought a PS3, much longer after it had already come and went. And so I started to collect a bunch of games for that because I missed out on that. And then you already heard the story about PlayStation 2. I borrowed my wife's in high school, and then we ended up getting married. So now it's kind of mine. Haha, then I broke it, so I had to buy a new one. So I've been really enjoying going back and collecting and playing these games for consoles I didn't have growing up, because every newish console has their own exclusives, except Microsoft. I'm just kidding. So it's been really fun to go back and play some of those games. So I've been collecting for PS2 and PS3, some PlayStation 1 here and there. I think I might do some more now that I can played on the go on my PSP and on the Vita, for that matter, and the PS3 and the PS2. Huh. Anyways, so I've been doing that, and that's been a lot of fun. But I always want to try and stay current with newer gen games. I pre-ordered the new Tomb Raider game. I'm gonna get Spiderman in the next week or two and check that out because that looks just amazing. I have a lot of fond memories of playing Spider-Man 2 back in the day and just like swinging from, you know, building to building and just. So I guess now I'd kind of like to go over my setup, the games that I collect, my collection, and stuff with you guys. So I'm gonna cut here. Well, not here because I'm still talking, but I'm gonna cut and then go show you my collection and then kind of my setup and stuff. So, okay, so we've gone really far. We've gone forward about 3 feet. You can't see me, but I can't see you either. So, it's me playing WoW. Woo! Play Holy, or not Holy, a Rep Paladin. I played Holy in Legion. I miss it. Dual monitors, mechanical keyboard because I'm a loser. There's my computer down there, 4790K with the GTX 1060, hoping to upgrade to like a 1080 Ti now that things are getting a little bit cheaper. Over here is my Retron 5, and my stupid mic. Retron 5 and OG Xbox One. And this is kind of my collection right here. So up top is my PS2 games right here, this little area over yonder. Game Boy games, PS3, PSP, Vita, GameCube games, because I don't really know where else to put them. PS4, a couple of PC games before they were just boxes with Steam download codes. PlayStation 1. I got some 360 games, some Xbox One games. All my DS games are actually upstairs, so that's usually where they go, and it actually fills up about that entire space. Then down at the bottom I got GameCube, Wii U. If you notice for the Wii U, it's just Zelda, so that's kind of funny. Switch, Super Nintendo, and NES. So that's my game collection. It's nothing to scoff at, I suppose, but you know, it's always growing. I'm gonna have to do something here because I've been collecting a lot for the PlayStation 4 lately, so this being full isn't gonna work for very much longer. Then over here is my TV with the PlayStation camera on it for scale. It's a 70-inch TV, Vizio 4K, nothing super fancy, I suppose. In the back is my Switch. Got my Xbox One X, PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2. Up top is one good PS2, and that's my wife's old broken one that I broke. My Wii, my GameCube. Those aren't hooked up right now because, you know, there's no space. And then here's some of my books. And some movies. We don't have enough room for all my books, so that's just some of my favorite ones. I'm gonna shill Brandon Sanderson here because I love his work. Douglas Adams, Star Wars, you know, good books, I suppose. Then over here, I've got my home theater PC that I built. You can watch that video on this channel. I'll leave a link somewhere down below in the description or something. It's just a Ryzen 2200G overclocked to 4 gigahertz, GPU overclocked to 1.5 gigahertz. Now on the inside of my closet door has got to be my wife's least favorite part of my collection, and that's all my controllers. So I bought this on Amazon. It was like a shoe organizer kit that holds all my controllers. So PS2, knockoff PS2, PS2, knockoff PS2, multi-tap with extra memory cards, the DVD controller for it, knockoff PS2, OG Xbox, PS3, the Retron 5 controller that blows ass, the thing sucks, another PS3, some Switch stuff, the Joy-Con straps, and then that thing, 360 controller, a Duke because it's the best. Shitty knockoff GameCube, the PS4, PS2? Yeah, GameCube, NES, Game Boys. This one is one that I did the backlight mod on, so it's backlit and stuff. Awesome. Really, actually very easy to do. Old school Game Boy, bone stock, nothing fancy, and then some Wii stuff. So, this is one of the things my wife hates the most, besides having so many games take up so much space. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to do a little one-on-one with you to kind of let you know what's been going on, what I've been playing, what I've been collecting for, and kind of go over my game slump. I'm hoping a game comes out soon that can pull me out of it. Maybe that'll be Spiderman. Who knows? Maybe the new Tomb Raider will get me, invested. I did just start Persona 5. I'm a little bit hesitant because it's such a long game. I don't want to. I know it's just like Persona 4, where you can put in nearly countless hours in it and get different outcomes and everything. But I'm just afraid of that big time sink. I don't have unlimited free time, and so to invest 50, 60, 70 hours into Persona 5, I'm a little bit scared of that. But we'll see. So far, I've been playing for about 2 hours now, and it's everything that Persona 4 was and more, and that's awesome. So that's that. Thanks for watching. Probably kind of boring, but I just wanted to talk about game collecting. I haven't really done that yet much on this channel, and it's really important to me. I hope that my collection can continue to grow, and I find more good deals and stuff. So here's to that. But thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below with any game recommendations that you think I should check out. Keep in mind that I haven't been exposed to a bunch of PS2 and PS3 games, and I'm always looking for more Xbox One games to add to that library. So, thanks.